first of all, when we talk of Abruzzo, it's taking a step back in time. When you go there, it's magical. There's really no way to express it except it's anyone who's gonna go to Italy, what you have Italy in your mind of something from over 100 years ago, that's what Abruzzo is, and it remains. Where in the rest of Italy, it's more modernized. The food itself has kept with that tradition. So you're taking things that you grow, everything is used, nothing is wasted, you're doing everything yourself, simple, to the point, high quality, and you're really letting the base ingredients speak for themselves. In Italy, there's a saying, it's called la materia prima, which means the materials first, the prime materials that you use. And that's what the basis of Abruzzo is. Hi everybody, welcome to my cantina. My name is Tommaso Conte. I am the founder of the Abruzzo. We specialize here in Abruzzese cuisine and we're located in New York City. Growing up with my friends, it would be like, Thursday, let's go out. And I'm like, yeah, just as soon as I finish racking my wine, I got things to do in my cellar. Like, come on, let's go out. I'm like, not now. I put my priority, I would much rather have been in my cantina, playing around with the wine, or in the summer in the garden. And I gotta trim the tomatoes back. I gotta turn over the soil. And they're like, what's wrong with you? It was like, for me, it was normal. But in their eyes, I was probably like the weirdest guy ever. I love when people come up to me and they're like, first of all, they come up and say, Abruzzo. Where is that? It's such an unknown region. They're like, Abruzzo, oh, it's like Turkish, right? No, it's Israeli? I said, no. It's like, I don't know where it's from, South America? Like, people have no clue. And I love that, first off, because it shows that it's not out there. And I'm gonna educate them and let them know, it's Abruzzo. What do you mean? I said, okay, fine, it's in Italy, but we're Abruzzese, it's not Italian, you know? You have this like pride, you don't want to say Italian, you don't want to say Abruzzese, that's what we are. Like, that's it, let's move on from there now.
Yeah, you want to be pigeonholed as Abruzzese.
Yes, exactly. Come with me. Cantina, for me, is only one thing, and that means wine cellar, where we store all of our products that we grow, that we preserve for the winter. So we have a peperoncino from Abruzzo. This is gonna get infused into our spicy oil, the olio santo. This is called liquid gold in Abruzzo. This is called moštagotto. Unfermented grape juice. When we're making wine, we take it and we cook it down from about 5-6 gallons to less than 1 gallon that we add into a lot of our desserts that we serve in Abruzzo. In Abruzzo, they have these spicy peppers. And it's known, they always have a joke, they say you eat these spicy peppers because it gets you ready. Ready for what, you say? Well, you figure it out. Italian food has really become part of the American culture. So you find your pizza, your pasta, and then you have your true traditional Italian foods, but it's not Abruzzo. So at all my locations, I have a few staple items. One is Arrosticini. 2 is pizzelle, which is a traditional waffle type cookie from Abruzzo. Look at the skewers, we're talking about Greece, we're talking about Turkey, like skewers in Italy, I've never seen such a thing. In Abruzzo, lamb is #1, it's king. And our lamb is the best lamb that you'll find in all of Italy. For today, we're gonna be making some arrosticini. Right now what we're using is a leg of lamb. We're gonna be using that as well. We put meat, fat, we layer it, and the fat is what acts almost as, you could say, marinade, because it's just the meat, the fat, and a little salt, nothing else. So, the Abruzzo, the word actually means of Abruzzo. We're really the first people here in New York dedicated to food only from Abruzzo.
But the main thing you want people to come for?
Arrosticini. Arrosticini and the pizzelle are the two things. Definitely the arrosticini, because I can tell anyone who has it is gonna love it. This is it, this is me. No show here, this is me, 100% genuinely me. So I'm proud, first of all, because my grandfather came here and he was always my hero growing up. I spent as much time as I could with him, learned everything from him, from making wine, doing sauce, growing vegetables, doing everything that you can for yourself to provide for yourself and your family. I learned from him. And so right here is our good fat. This is the key to making awesome arrosticini. So 70% meat, 30% fat, and it's just gonna coat the meat as a marinade would. So all the seeds from my garden are pretty much, you could say, like heirloom. They're from my family. The tomatoes, the peppers, which were brought from Abruzzo, from my grandfather. So he brought them here. He would grow them, dry out the seeds, regerminate the next year, germinate the next year, going on, going on. Then when he passed away, I ended up getting the seeds from him and I started regerminating them. So now I have, the tradition lives on of these seeds from Abruzzo.
Do you miss him?
Unbelievably. I would give anything to have him with me here right now. And then, one by one, we go. 256 times. 253. 252. I actually dream about, like, I'm doing it in my sleep, and then I wake up, I'm like, why am I even dreaming this right now? Like, this is my time, dream something else. So being a kid, I was the only one that was allowed in his garden. I mean, none of the other grandkids, my father, my mother, no one was allowed in the garden except me. And, you know, I just grew so close with him. I was his, like, sidekick. And, you know, it was always hands-on, always hands-on. When I was 6, 7 years old, we would be at the table, and my grandfather, my nonno, my papi would be like, here, take it. Be like, no one's looking. You know, looking. You go in, little sip of wine, just a little bit to get, because it's an introduction into a lifetime of, like, love and passion for food. That espresso, he'd take a cafe and a little spoon, and on the demi-tasse spoon, give me a little espresso. At 6 years old, I was having wine and espresso. I was, you know, and then he'd send me home to my parents. Like, I was all jacked up. Don't worry, you're gonna be eating them soon. I know you're thinking it. You know when they say, like, they don't make them like they used to? Like, he truly is the epitome of that. He was like 86, like shoulders like huge like this. And in Abruzzo we say he was a bestia. Bestia is like a word for he was a beast of a man. Like, he really was like an ox. And he would just, like, he could outwork me right now. And if he was here right now, he could outwork me at my age. He was an animal, he really was. Right? And here we are with our 256 arrosticini, each one skewered by hand, cut by hand. I feel at times that this is my grandfather's business, not mine. Like, I truly believe that it is his. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And this wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So I owe everything to him for this. You know, I think he'd be proud of me, you know, carrying on his legacy. So it's tough to talk about him because he means so much to me. But yeah, I would give anything to have him here with me right now. So that's why it's so important for me to pass this on. You come down, you ask for the lamb, man, and you're gonna understand why this is goodness, okay?
Okay, go for it.
Keep on, huh? It's from Rome. It's like a three-hour car ride to Abruzzo. So 3-hour car ride if you're going straight, but as soon as you get off of the plane, stop at the cafe. Okay, you have a cafe, a panino, then you go, keep driving on the highway. Oh, let's get off at the next exit. So usually a 3-hour drive turns into about a 5.5-hour drive because I'm stopping and eating at every place on the way. So by the time I get to the town, I'm like 7 espresso in, you know, a bottle of wine with some panino, maybe a little prosciutto, antipasta. It's beautiful.